Welcome back to my channel. My name is Josh, and welcome back to my channel. We've got a little bit of a different episode today. Normally I talk about books, reading, writing, things like that. Today, we got something a little bit different. I just finished watching the season finale of Obi Wan Kenobi. So we bring back Ewan McGregor, we bring back Hayden Christensen, reprising their roles as Anakin / Vader and Obi Wan Kenobi / himself. For starters, before the spoilers and all the crazy wild things, the highlights of the show are Darth Vader, Obi Wan Kenobi, and young Princess Leia. Those three characters are really great, especially Darth Vader and Ewan McGregor as Obi Wan Kenobi. Obi Wan and Vader are phenomenal. Their tension drives the entire narrative of the show. And knowing what we know in the background helps inform all that's happening in the present with the show. So it's set 10 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith. It really just focuses on that dynamic, the Darth Vader, Obi Wan Kenobi dynamic. And they're electric. Like, they steal the show. Darth Vader's better than he's ever been. Ever. Empire Strikes Back? No. That Darth Vader is like child's play compared to the Darth Vader that's present here in Obi Wan Kenobi. He's phenomenal. Obi-Wan himself is a more nuanced version of an Obi-Wan. I always felt like Ewan McGregor brought a performance to the character that was special, dare I say it, in episode 1, 2, and 3. Altogether, were not the most well-made films, and Ewan McGregor was phenomenal in all three of those movies, and he's great here in Obi-Wan. He steals the show. He is an old, busted version of Obi-Wan Kenobi, for lack of a better term. He just looks like a fighter out of practice. For much of the season, that's what Obi-Wan is. Now, there are some newcomers to the show as well. There are the Inquisitors, third sister Reva? We're gonna say Reva for this video. She's terrible. Her character is awful, and I'm gonna get into a little bit why in this video. Princess Leia as a young 10-year-old is great. There's a spunk and characterization that is present also in the original movies. She's very believable as the younger version of that character. The dynamics with her and Ewan McGregor, they offset each other really well, and their characters offset each other really, really well. So getting into some spoilers, my raw, unfiltered thoughts about the show, okay? I dropped a tweet probably the day before the final episode. So I had 5 episodes of the show in my system, digesting, sitting there just like, here's my unfiltered thoughts. And through 5 episodes, I had a lot of issues with the show as a whole. Darth Vader was great, Obi-Wan was great, but outside of those 2 characters, there was not much about the show that was arresting my attention. I felt like the narrative was a bit all over the place, and character motivations were unclear. It's difficult to clarify intentions in the timeline that this show takes place. It's in between 2 trilogies, essentially. And trying to fill some of these gaps, like characters exist that we already know are alive and well later. For example, Grand Inquisitor is killed in episode 1 or 2 by third sister Reva, but he's alive in Rebels, which is post the narrative in Obi-Wan. So it was one of those things where they set up third sister killing the Grand Inquisitor as a big twist, I guess you would say, an early season twist, but it held no weight because we already knew he was alive later. So it's like, oh no, he died. Who cares? So editing Josh here. Just bear with me. I'm about to go on a really long rant about third sister and how she kind of impacted the overall show, and why I kind of think that most of the issues of the show kind of stem from that character. Not like the actress, but like the writing, the character, the dynamic that she brought or did not bring to the show stems out of that. So bear with the rant, and then we'll get back to it. Third sister Riva's like whole thing was that she was a youngling, and when Anakin came and killed all the younglings, she escaped, but was also like, she witnessed Anakin Skywalker killing all the younglings, and therefore grows to hate Jedi, so she joins the Inquisitors. That part I get and understand, and that the motivation there makes total sense. Where Third Sister's character diverged a bit for me was, one, the performance was very one note. She's just angry, and that's it. There's no nuance to her character legitimately until episode 6. So she's a clanging cymbal amongst Obi Wan Kenobi, who's very dynamic, multi-dimensional. Darth Vader, who, while he could be one note, he's not. Darth Vader is multi-dimensional in this show as well, but we've also got the benefit of previous Darth Vader stuff. So there's more there, but Third Sister, she's new. What the showrunners never did was give the audience a reason to care about her at all, like none. She is just I'm angry, I hate Jedi, I'm going to hunt down and kill Obi Wan Kenobi, and that's her deal. And she goes outside of the bounds of what is acceptable for the Inquisitors to do so. She breaks rules. She's like just mad on a mission, going after him. I think that could have been done with a little bit more nuance. There's absolutely none to her character until episode 6 of the show. So we're gonna get into some spoilers for her character. She says at one point in episode 5, she confronts Obi Wan Kenobi and essentially reveals she was a youngling and she wants to kill Anakin Skywalker. Now, the part about this that just is so bizarre for me is that Third Sister Riva says in the second or third episode, I think it's the second one, that Anakin is alive.
You didn't know. He's alive, Obi-Wan. Anakin Skywalker is alive.
Why would she work for Vader and hunt down Obi-Wan? I understand a hatred of the Jedi, but it's misplaced. I'm really mad at Anakin Skywalker, so I'm hunting down Obi Wan Kenobi, who was his master, which is like, it's bad, frankly. Like, if she hated Anakin, why not, and knew Anakin was Darth Vader, why not just like hunt Darth Vader? And in episode 5, she does turn, I guess, on Darth Vader, but it's so, there's no surprise. Like, there's no reason for me to care that, like, oh, she turned on Darth Vader. We know she's gonna get her butt kicked, like, and she does. Darth Vader wrecks her because he's awesome. The whole dynamic with Third Sister Riva and Obi-Wan just feels very weird because she is so obsessed at the beginning of the show with Obi-Wan. And then by the end, you realize, well, she's not really obsessed with Obi-Wan. She's kind of obsessed with Anakin Skywalker. But then, like, does she know he's Darth Vader? They make it appear like she does know that Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader. It's just weird. And I think the delivery of her character motivations was bungled. And frankly, the performance was just not nuanced. I don't know if it was something that wasn't there in the text that she couldn't expound upon, or if it was just that she just didn't bring much to the character. I don't know. But Third Sister, not a great character, and I really think she brought down the whole show. They did not go to great pains to give the audience a reason to care either which way about the character, other than she is super annoying, so everybody hated her. And I heard a lot of people saying she was the worst Star Wars character ever. I probably, for the first 5 episodes, would agree that she was horrific. And episode 6 showed a little bit more nuance for her character. She had a chance to kill Luke as a young boy. And that made sense, because if you hate Anakin, you would also hate his kids. And if you're an Inquisitor, like, you're messed up, so you would go after kids, which that part I sort of understood. But then when she gets the chance to kill Luke Skywalker, she does not do it. And that was a character turn that I appreciated and liked. Overall, like a D for Third Sister Reva. Obi-Wan and Darth Vader steal the show. I think if you're gonna watch Obi Wan Kenobi, be prepared for that character relationship. And there are moments when this show is brilliant. The rest of it is kind of ho-hum mediocre. When Darth Vader shows up in episode 3 and starts wrecking people and fights Obi-Wan for the first time, great moment in the show. I mean, Darth Vader comes through and just force chokes people, wastes folks, and then like wrecks Obi-Wan. Like you can tell Obi-Wan is not capable, or at least he's so rusty, and Darth Vader has honed his skills, and they come together and it's like one is obviously better than the other. And that's a great moment, I think, because you want to build to a crescendo, and there needs to be failure on your way to that crescendo. So I think that moment was awesome. There's also a lot of fan service bits in the show, and so a lot of Star Wars fans are really excited about the show, maybe not because of the story, which honestly it's what I care more about, because of tidbits that the writers threw them or the showrunners let them, you know, here's a little Easter egg for you, and here's a little nod to this or that or this or that. And frankly, most of it was inconsequential. And I think the showrunners counted on these little tidbits carrying viewers through the show, when really if they would have just focused more on like the motivations of characters and the story, that would carry you through the show. So all that aside, Obi-Wan, Vader, great. There's a scene where in episode 5, there's a throwback clip, I guess you would say, where Obi-Wan and Anakin, Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor, are training, dueling, if you will, in Coruscant. It just feels like, hey, here's a cool scene with Anakin, not Darth Vader, but Anakin and Obi-Wan, and they're fighting, and it's cool. And I don't know, it just, I feel like that was a microcosm of the show as a whole. It's these characters that you grew to love as a kid, and now you're an adult, and it's these characters again. It's the same actors. It's great. It's high budget. It's woohoo. But I feel like for much of the show, up until the final episode, the driving force behind the show is these characters. And it's not that they progress or change or really do anything new outside of Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan does go through, like, you know, he starts out the show, he is a weakened version of himself, and he progresses, and by the end, he's a badass again. Like, he is awesome. Final episode, Obi-Wan, Vader duel, and it's potentially one of the best duels in Star Wars history. Like, that duel is amazing. Those two characters steal the show, but it's all the new characters, everything new that they brought to add to the show just didn't quite land for me. Everything all together, duels, 10 of 10. Darth Vader, 15 of 10. Darth Vader's amazing. The show as a whole, though, I'd probably give it about a 6 of 10. And it was honestly about a 4.5, 5 out of 10 prior to the final episode. I think the final episode did help wrap things up a bit. It's really cool if you like Star Wars fight scenes, if you like these characters that you grew up with as a kid that are now, we're in 2022 and we're getting Ewan McGregor, we're getting Hayden Christensen back again. I would have liked to have seen more care with these characters and more emphasis on story with this show, but it is Disney and they have not shown the ability to care about story in recent movies. That's gonna be all from me. If you enjoyed this type of video, something a little bit different from the norm, comment below and tell me your opinion about Obi-Wan, the whole show. Was Third Sister a one-note, pretty rough performance for you? Did you like Obi-Wan? Did you like Darth Vader? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to subscribe, leave a like on the video as well. And I will see you back with our regularly scheduled programming next week when I fight a dragon and save a princess. Goodbye.